Hello friends, my name's Nate and today I'm going to share with you guys a part of one of my basketball workouts from this year. For this section I'm just going to be doing layups and I'm going to be focusing on underhand layups. Now depending on my angle of approach, the bounce of the ball and whatnot, I might have to do a few overhand shots. I'm pretty sure I do later in the video, but that's just how it goes. Gotta celebrate the early wins because, as you can see, I'm not perfect. And I know where things are going, so I'll just give you guys the heads up. Things start to balance out here pretty quick. Now, it's worth pointing out here that even though in post I've added the counter for how many shots I've taken and made and so forth, in my head while I'm doing the drill, I'm only counting up those giant red numbers in the middle of the screen, and those only tick up when I make 2 consecutive shots, one from each side of the basketball hoop. And as you can see, those red numbers are ticking up a little bit more slowly. And that's why we practice. I don't claim to be any sort of expert at wheelchair basketball. I've only been playing for about 4 years now. A lot of guys have been playing for a lot longer than me, so I'm still hopefully early in my career. I think I've started to pick things up pretty quickly for the time that I've played. But when you think about it, most people who've played able-bodied basketball for 4 years are like 9 years old. So hopefully I'm doing about as well as you'd expect an able-bodied 9-year-old to be playing. Maybe a little better. If I wanted to make excuses for my ball handling, I'd mention that the ball I'm shooting with is on the flat side of things, but I'm not the kind of guy who makes excuses, so I won't do that. Keep in mind, a typical able-bodied basketball player who's 6 feet tall, when they're jumping and reaching up with the ball, they might be letting go of the ball about 6-7 inches from the rim. And I'm 6'3" standing up, but I haven't stood up in over 20 years. And when I'm letting go of the ball, it's probably 6-7 feet away from the rim. So a little bit further. Not that that means I shouldn't be making 80 to 90% of the shots that I'm taking, especially without a defender in front of me. but it is something to remember if you've never shot a basketball from a seated position. Oh man, just terrible. But again, this is why we practice. Yeah, that one was worth the sound effect. You can tell I'm starting to fatigue a little bit. At this point in the drill, it becomes at least as much of a cardio exercise as it is a skill development workout. I'm going to continue until I've made 10 shots back to back, which in theory could take forever, but luckily in this case, it does not.